The big game that we had last night that did end up getting delayed by lightning, which we've seen a couple lightning delays already this year, was Bills versus Chiefs. This is one of the big games that we talked about the week before right here on this show with Robert and Uche. Because listen, I mean, that's a big matchup. That's a potential AFC championship preview. But the longer this season goes, the more vulnerable the Chiefs look. And like they might have a tough time getting back to that AFC title game. And Josh Allen took care of business, and the Buffalo Bills kind of rolled over the Chiefs. You know, you always are worried about the Chiefs making a big comeback. They've been down so many times and come back. We've kind of gotten used to it. But that was not the case this time. The Bills look very dominant, and the Chiefs look very vulnerable. I know you were on the road during this, but I know you're also watching while you were on the road, Jeremy. What was your takeaway from this game?
Well, so I had some vested interest in this game because of fantasy football. And by the way, I am number one in the Sports Wars Fantasy Football League. Just want to point that out. Fuck you, Ryan. But, you know, I picked up Dawson Knox probably an hour before kickoff. Not from the Sunday night game, but just for the Sunday games in general, because Gronkowski was my starting tight end. So he's injured. So watching that game, I was pretty interested in that game from a fantasy perspective, but also just I'm kind of moving into this whole, like, Mahomes is almost like Aaron Rodgers, where he's fantastic, he's talented, he's amazing, he does incredible things, but he's being overhyped by the media so much. I mean, look, he's a great quarterback and he can do amazing things, but he's also on a stacked team. And I never hear that about him. I never hear that Patrick Mahomes is on a stacked team. I hear that about Tom Brady, but I never hear that about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has been on a stacked team with a veteran coach who has been to Super Bowls and NFC championships over and over again, who's seen it all. I'm starting to see now that if everything's not perfect around Patrick Mahomes, seems to have a tough time. And so the Bills, look, you know, they're doing a good job. They obviously now don't have the New England Patriots dominating the AFC East anymore. So there's kind of some openings in that division. And Josh Allen, he's still got some stuff to learn, but Josh Allen's pretty dynamic. You know what I mean? And the Bills have a great defense. Like they're pretty impressive. They're pretty impressive.
They are, and the Chiefs, we've been saying this, and it really reared its ugly head during the Super Bowl. You know, when that offensive line, it was just the play was, hey, Patrick Mahomes, go back there and make something happen. And I think that you can only sustain that for so long. You look at the history against the spread. I know if Barnes was here, be talking about against the spread and what the Chiefs have done, and they are terrible against the spread because the media, the general public, even Vegas at sometimes give these guys maybe more credit than they deserve because of some of the things that we've seen them do. And that's catching up with them. And when you look at the numbers here, you talked about, you know, Josh Allen. Josh Allen only had 15 completions for 315 yards. This man does not believe in checking it down. He pushes the ball down the field all the time. And then he had 11 carries, which is, you know, and he looks to run the ball like a lot. Yeah, like to me, Josh Allen, when I watch him, it's like, listen, we're going to force the ball downfield, and if it's not there, I'm going to pick up 5 or 7 yards running. You know, instead of these check downs. Now, of course, he's going to check it down from time to time, but the last couple of weeks, that has not been their game plan. And you see Patrick Mahomes with 54 attempts. 54 attempts from Patrick Mahomes. They did not run the ball. Now, Edwards-Helaire did get hurt, to be fair, but look at that. I mean, Darrell Williams had 5 rush attempts. Edwards-Helaire had 7. McKinnon had 1. They were not trying to run this ball at all. And I think they really need more balance on this Kansas City Chiefs team, or else this is going to be the continued story of the season.
Well, it pisses me off because the media's treatment of this shit. So Kansas City's 2-3 now. Okay, people were saying they were going 16 or 17-0 this year. They were like, "Oh, Kansas City could go 17-0." When New England would lose 2 games, when Tom Brady was there, to lose 2 fucking games, they're like, "It's over. Brady's got to retire." You know, when Alabama loses a fucking game, it's over. Saban's washed. You could tell who the media protects and who they can't, and they really have been trying to hype up Patrick Mahomes to another level. Again, he's great. He's phenomenal. But they're 2-3 now, and they haven't looked great. Now, I think they're going to be fine. They're still going to be a playoff team. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But why are they not being treated like other top-tier teams? You know, you can tell who the media really wants to push and who they don't want to push. And Kansas City doesn't look great. They really don't. But I think they're going to be fine in the long run. But you're starting to see the flaws for sure.